What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with Samsung Galaxy A55 5G, tips and tricks, and hidden features. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to get the most out of your device. So this is the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. Now this phone is packed full of a lot of really awesome features, and I'm looking forward to showing you my favorites here in this video. Now the first thing I want to show you is how to hide apps with the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. And this is actually pretty simple. So you can see here in your app drawer, there's all of your various applications, right? Now if you want to hide any of these, then all you have to do is simply go to the three dots in the upper right corner. Then from there, go to Settings. And then from there, go right here to where it says Hide Apps on Home and App Screens. Then from there, you'll see a list of all your various applications. So let's say we want to hide Facebook, for example. I'm going to pick that. It's now in my hidden apps. I'm going to go to Done. And then now, going back to my home screen, Facebook was there, and now it's gone. And then also, Facebook is nowhere to be found here in the app drawer. So that app is now officially hidden. Now to bring it back, simply go back to this area here, and then go to Hidden Apps, and then unhide it, go to Done, and then now it won't put it back on the home screen, but you will find it back in your app drawer, and then you can put the application back to where it was, or whatever you want to do. Now one of my favorite things about the Galaxy A55 5G is that we do have a very highly customizable lock screen here. The only problem though is that it's a little bit confusing on how to actually customize it. So to customize it, all you have to do is simply hold down on the lock screen, then put in your PIN code, and then from there, you have the ability to really change things up. So we can start by tapping on the time right here, and then you can pick from a bunch of different clock styles. You can even get an entire calendar up here if you want, so that's pretty awesome, or even no clock, or if you want to change the colors, you also have that ability to make that customization. So tons of different ways to customize things here on the lock screen. You can also tap here then to add various widgets. So there's different options ranging from the battery to the weather. We can also go over to here and edit what you want to show up for various notifications. So if you want nothing, you can pick that. Or if you want more details in addition to the default icons here, you also have that ability to choose that. You can even go down here to contact information, and if you want to add in extra info, such as maybe your email address or something like that in case you lose your phone, that's another really awesome option to have there. And then finally, down below here, there are some various applications that are kind of preloaded in, such as the phone and then also the camera. So if you tap there, you can actually pick from other applications. You can see some of these, you don't even have to actually unlock the device, whereas others it is required. But it is nice that if you want to maybe swap out the phone for maybe the flashlight, for example, you do have that ability, and then you can also switch out the camera for something else as well. You can even tap on here where it says frame, and there's options for kind of changing up the look here of the interface. You can even pick different colors as well. So that's how to customize the lock screen here on the Galaxy A55 5G. The next thing I want to show you is a quick and easy way to access the camera app here on the device, and all you have to do is simply double press on the power button. And just like that, it now pulls up the camera here on the phone. So you can do this from anywhere throughout the operating system, just double pressing the power button, and then the camera will be pulled up. Now this feature does have an actual name, it's called Side Button, and you can actually further customize it. So we're going to head over to the settings here, and then go to search, and type in Side, and you'll see right there Side Button, go there, and then you can see by default it does indeed launch the camera. Now, if instead you wanted to open up any app of your choosing, you also have that ability. So go here to Open App, and then you can pick from not only apps, but also various functionalities, such as the flashlight. So I'm going to pick, for example, Instagram. So now with that chosen there, I'll just double press on the power button, and then Instagram immediately gets pulled up here on the device. So that's super convenient. Another customization you can make here as well is that if you want to press and hold the power button and have it actually turn off the phone instead of pulling up the voice assistant, you can select that as well. And then by holding down here, you have the options to power off or restart, for example. So it is nice that we have that ability to make that adjustment, because I know for many people it can be annoying to pull down the notification shade and go to this button here every time you want to power off the phone. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to take a screenshot with the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. And there are multiple methods here to take a screenshot with the device, so let me show you right now. Now the first way to take a screenshot is to simply hold the volume down and power button for about a second here. So just like that, it takes the screenshot. Then you have options to edit or share, which is really convenient. And then the next way to take a screenshot is called palm swipe to capture, and this is actually already enabled by default. So basically all you have to do is just take your hand, swipe over, and then it takes the screenshot. But that's how to take a screenshot with the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. Now the next thing I want to show you is an area in the settings that is packed full of a bunch of really awesome features. So what we're going to do here is head over to the settings, then from there, go down to where it says advanced features, and then you'll see an option here that says motions and gestures. So go there, and then you'll see that many of these are already enabled by default, but you might not be aware that they're actually here on the device. Now one of these is not enabled, and that's called lift to wake. Basically, it'll turn on the screen of your phone when you do actually pick it up. And this is a feature that I actually find to be very helpful. So now with the screen off, I just have to pick up the phone, and then it now turns the screen on. Also in this area here, we have options for double tap to turn on the screen, also double tap to turn off the screen. So if you double tap on an area with no icons, it'll turn off the screen, double tapping again, turns that back on. So that's very convenient there. We also have options here for alert when phone picked up, also mute with gestures. So you can turn your phone face down, it'll then mute your call or alarm, and then also palm swipe to capture, which I already showed you a little bit ago. Now with the Galaxy A55 5G, we have a very large 6.6-inch display, and that's fantastic when it comes to watching content here on the phone, whether it's going on social media or watching videos, all of that, but it can be difficult to reach all portions of the operating system when using the phone with just one hand. Now fortunately, Samsung has come up with a very cool solution to this, and it's called one-handed mode. So we're actually going to go back over to the settings in that same advanced features area, and then you'll see it right there, one-handed mode. So if you go there, and then you enable that, then basically we can now use the feature. So there are multiple ways of doing this, either with a gesture or a button. So first we'll try the gesture. So just swipe down right here, and then it does shrink things down. Then to get back to the normal mode here, you can tap on the outside of that, and it brings things back to normal. Now alternatively, you can pick the button way of doing it. So if I pick that, all I have to do is just double tap on the home button, and then it does switch things over to one-handed mode here. So I do prefer that. I think it's a little bit easier than the gesture, but it really comes down to what you prefer. Now then from here, with this display shrunken down, it's basically a mini phone. So I can use all parts of the operating system here. I can swipe down on the notification shade. I can do all of that, and I can use everything most importantly with just one hand. So that's super convenient. And then again, if you want to tap outside of here, it brings things back to normal. Also tapping here switches things over to the other side. So if you're left-handed, for example, that could be very convenient for you. You can also grab up here to move it around a little bit more. And you can even grab onto the corner here to then resize it, so you can really customize things to be exactly how you want it to be. Now when setting up your Galaxy A55 5G, you might have noticed this little side notch over here, and this is actually called the edge panel. So this is really convenient and also really cool because it gives you quick access to all your various applications and other functionalities of the device. Now you can see by default it actually sets up some configurations here. So that one, for example, will pull up both YouTube and the web browser at the same time. You can also tap on these 9 dots in the bottom left corner to access any application here on the phone. So that's really convenient so that you don't have to actually exit out of an app to pull up a different app. Then we can also go to this pen right here to then customize what actually shows up here in this edge panel. And then also you can go over to the settings right here to make even more customizations. What's also really cool is that you don't actually have to have apps here in the edge panel. You can choose contacts, various smart features, tasks, weather, tools, reminders, and even your clipboard. And there's even more options here in the Galaxy Store. Now if you go back to the main settings here and you search edge panels and you go here and then there, you can actually totally disable this feature if you don't want it at all. You can also go here to handle and you can customize the position of it. So if you want on the left side instead, you can do that. You can also adjust how high or low you want it to be. You can also lock the handle position. You can also adjust transparency, size, and other things here as well. So really a lot of different customizations when it comes to the edge panel. Now with the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G, we have a very large 5,000 mAh internal battery. Now that's great and everything, and definitely expect to get very good battery life here with the phone, but I do recommend being familiar with battery saver. So to get to battery saver, pull down the shade here, go to the gear icon for the settings, go to search, type in battery, and then from there, go here where it says battery, and then from there, you'll see power saving mode here as an option. So if we go here to power saving mode, you can see that when that's enabled, the phone will cut out various background tasks. It will also lower the refresh rate down to 60 Hz, but in exchange for that, you're going to be getting much better battery life out of the device. So this can definitely come in handy, I feel like, if you know you have a long day ahead of you and you'll have no ability to recharge the phone anytime soon. But I wouldn't necessarily keep this feature on at all times, just because you then won't be getting the full experience from the phone itself. But you can also further customize how power saving mode works. You can have it, for example, turn off 5G. It can also limit CPU speed. It can also turn off the always on display. So a lot of different options here for that feature. Now with this device, by default, we do have 3-button navigation enabled, but this phone is also capable of doing gesture-based navigation. So definitely if you've never tried gesture-based navigation, I recommend kind of giving it a try and seeing if maybe you prefer that instead. But basically to get to this, go from the settings, go to search, type in nav, and then go to navigation bar, and then go down here, and then you'll see an option for swipe gestures instead of buttons. Now the first thing is, for the actual buttons, you can go to more options here, and you can switch around the back button and recent apps buttons. That might be more convenient for you if you are left-handed. It really just depends on what you prefer. But then also going over to swipe gestures right here, you can see those 3 buttons now just turn into one line here. And then you can swipe up to go home, swipe partially up to go to your recent apps, and then swipe from the side to go back. Then in addition to that, under more options, you can adjust the sensitivity. Now when you're in the main settings here, and then you go over to display options, there are quite a few good things here that you will want to be familiar with. Now the first one is dark mode. So if you switch over to dark mode, you can see everything turns much darker here. But in exchange for that, it's much better in low light situations because maybe you're at the movie theater, for example, and you just don't want your phone to be super bright. This could definitely help you there. You can also go to dark mode settings, and you can actually pick a schedule for this if you do wish to do that. We also have motion smoothness. So with this device, we do have a 120 Hz refresh rate display, and I definitely do recommend having this enabled because that is really an awesome feature, having that faster refresh rate. But if you do want a 60 Hz refresh rate instead, you will save a bit more battery life here with the phone. There's also options here for changing the screen mode, so you can have it be vivid or natural. You can also further kind of change the white balance here, and there's even more advanced settings. Also, in this section of the settings, we can go over here for easy mode. So if this phone is maybe for somebody who's not very good at tech, then this feature definitely could come in handy for that. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you here in this video. But this concludes my video on tips, tricks, and hidden features for the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. I hope you enjoyed this video and most importantly learned something new today. But thanks again for watching. This is Kevin, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.